How many years have I lived in China? I have lived in China for just over 10 years. How was the Chinese population informed of the coronavirus epidemic? Although the information was posted on official websites of the government, most people learned of the outbreak of this disease through the news, either on TV or through the internet. Others learned of it through social media or through word of mouth. Was the coronavirus alarm timely according to Chinese public opinion? I think the general opinion was that raising the alarm over this outbreak was timely. For several days, nobody knew just what this was, and in the earliest cases, doctors and nurses were not wearing protective clothing or masks because what is now known about this virus was not known at that time. What happened in China in the early days of the alarm? In the early days, when the alarm was first raised in Wuhan, most of the rest of China continued as usual. Gradually, more cities became locked down to help prevent any further spread of the virus. First in Hubei province, then across China. Because the outbreak occurred over the Chinese New Year, many people were already at home and so continued to largely stay at home. How did the Chinese population deal with the emergency? Generally, most people took to this very well. They understood the seriousness of the situation, and to self-isolate was for their benefit, to avoid getting infected and to help stop the spread of the virus. What have been the most serious repercussions of the life of Chinese citizens? For most people, because it occurred during the Chinese New Year, there was not too much of an immediate effect. Once the time came for people to begin returning to work and the holiday period was extended, then the repercussions started to hit home. These were interruptions to their daily routine of working, of shopping, and of socializing. For many, this continues even today with the uncertainty as to when life can return to normal. How much has the Chinese economy been affected by the epidemic? I'm not sure on the effects as a country. Those figures are not yet available, and the speculation is that the economy will fall, but once the situation returns to normal, then they should eventually be adjusted back to where it was before the virus struck. Individually, many people have not been paid and may not be until the situation returns to normal. How did you experience this emergency? During this time, I have been with my family in Jiangxi province. We began self-isolating before it became official here in this city, with my wife going out to buy food while I stayed at home with our son. Once the lockdown was enforced in this city, all public transport stopped and cars were kept off the streets. Only one person per household was permitted to go shopping once every 2 days. That continued for around 3 weeks. What is the current situation? Here in this city, the buses are operating again and lots of businesses have now reopened. Everyone is expected to wear a mask as there is still a considered risk. Yet despite this, I have seen people out and about without a mask. Whenever we return home, we pass through the security gate where we live, and everyone will have the temperature checked. When going shopping at the supermarket, at the entrance your temperature is also checked, and in some locations a cleaner or spray is applied to your hands before you can enter the supermarket. Although many businesses are now open, they are not as busy as they usually are. I still have no idea when I can return to work as a teacher. In other cities, life is slowly returning to normal. The situation in Wuhan and Hubei province, rather, is very different from here, as the people there are still confined to their homes, and the situation there will take longer to return to normal, although fewer people are getting sick there now. Is there still much fear in the population? Here in Jiangxi province, I see little evidence of any fear. In this city, 18 people contracted the virus. 12 of those have now recovered. There have been no new cases in this province for more than a week. Within Jiangxi province, there has been just the one death from the virus, so for most people, there has been very little immediate effect apart from isolation. What is expected to happen now? Now life is slowly returning to normal. How long that will take is purely guesswork at the moment. My feeling is probably another month for most people. My wife has been told that she will not return to work until early April at the earliest. Places where people congregate, i.e. schools, cinema, sports events, may take longer depending upon the perceived risk within a particular area.